Zhu Zhongba started screaming, his face terrified. You evil woman, what did you do to me? Why can't I use my spiritual power? She ignored him, taking out a dagger and cutting his clothes into pieces. The courtyard gate had somehow opened, allowing a cold wind to blow in, leaving Zhu Zhongba standing in raggedy pants. She mocked his appearance, provoking his anger. He threatened revenge, but she remained unfazed, revealing her identity as Nolan Fei Xue, the second miss of Nolan Manor. She tied up the guards and destroyed the courtyard gate, ensuring their humiliation would be seen by passersby. As she left, she reminded Zhu Zhongba of her name, Nolan Fei Xue. With a sinister smile, Zhu Zhongba started screaming, his face terrified. You evil woman, what did you do to me? Why can't I use my spiritual power? For a cultivator, for the cultivation base to become crippled, it's the same as becoming an ordinary person. Compared to death, it's a terrible torture. She ignored him. Rather, she took out a dagger, and with a few quick swipes, cut his clothes into pieces. The courtyard gate had somehow opened without anyone noticing, allowing a cold wind to blow in. Zhu Zhongba's clothes fluttered in the breeze, slowly falling to the ground, leaving only worn-out, raggedy pants to still hang on his body, making him want to cover it, but he couldn't. Tsk. She shook her head and sighed. I thought the clothes you were wearing were ugly enough. I didn't expect that. When I removed your clothes you would be so ugly to the point of blinding people's eyes. To say you are fat pig, it's simply insulting to an actual pig. Lowly woman, you sure have the ability to attack this young master. Growing up, Zhu Zhongba had been raised with a gold spoon in his mouth. He had never received such a humiliation. Hysterically he roared, lowly woman, I will dismember your body into 1,000 pieces. She contemptuously laughed. Based on your stupid appearance now, you still think you can dismember my body into 1,000 pieces? Ah, this great aunt is so afraid. You just wait until I'm saved. I absolutely will not let you off. Even if I have to chase after you till the end of the earth, I will kill you. Ha ha ha, all right, I will wait. She laughed. Just so you know, you don't need to chase after me till the end of the earth. I can tell you now, my name is Nolan Fei Xue, Nolan Manor's second miss, the genius Dr. Nolan Jing's daughter. You can just come and find me to settle this account. Nolan Fei Xue. Zhu Zhongba gnashed his teeth while loudly repeating this name, his eyes flashing red with thoughts of wanting to bite and crush her to death. I certainly will not let you off. She ignored his roaring, following suit with what she had done to Zhu Zhongba. She stripped the 4 guards' clothes and tied them one by one to the pillar in the middle of the hall. For the items on Zhu Zhongba and the bodies of the 4 guards, including the precious storage ring on Zhu Zhongba's hand, she kindly accepted it all out of the goodness in her heart. Bang! With a loud echoing crash, she completely destroyed the courtyard's main gate, causing the scene in the hall to be plainly visible to people walking past. Every person in the courtyard was then hit by her, resulting with at least 1 day and 1 night that they couldn't even crawl to get up. To be believed that, when tomorrow morning arrived, when the first strands of the sun's rays shined in here, there will certainly be many people who will see the world's best scene inside this house. Facing the pale silver moonlight, she spun around and rushed back to Zhu Zhongba in the middle of the hall, wearing a brilliant grin. You can show your ugly body in front of people, but your honor, don't forget to thank me later. Remember, my name is Nolan Fei Xue. Turning around, the smile on his face changed, twisting into something sinisterly dark and cold. Nolan's second miss, Nolan Fei Xue. Since you think Nolan she blocked your path, if I didn't do something and just ignored your actions, wouldn't that be too sad for you? No one should scheme against her, she. After this, if they couldn't afford to pay the bitter price, like in her previous life, now she was also holding this bodice original, Nolan this portion of karma. The quickly departing she didn't know that after she left, about an incense stick worth of time, a shadow sprang from the courtyard, quickly rushing to the luxurious official residence nearby, next to Yanjing Imperial Palace. In the silence of the night, a man's laughter without restraint was suddenly heard from inside the official residence building. The man's laughter was deep and low. It resounded loudly, similar to a cello string being plucked, with layers of hidden depth that teased a person's heart. His laughter at this moment was filled with overflowing interest. Really only grows more and more interesting. This king is impatient and wants to immediately meet her. The information that I asked you to investigate, have you received it yet? The information has just arrived, master. Please have a look. The man took the offered jade slip, with eyes full of curiosity, his expression slowly changing as he absorbed the information it stored. Below the deserted Song Mountain, outside of Yanjing City, there is a small shabby courtyard. This was where Yanjing's famous doctor, Ning Xi's concubine-born third daughter lived. It was unknown to most that Ning Xi lived here. Song Mountain was located in a desolate area, where spiritual energy was thin. Birds and beasts rarely roamed in this area. Also, spiritual herbs and spiritual trees were unable to grow. Even ordinary fruits and crops were unable to survive in this environment. At this point the time had passed. The mountain wind blew frequently into the courtyard, bringing waves of gloomy chilliness. However, Wet Nurse Chen still paced back and forth in the courtyard, occasionally glancing towards the shabby gate. Miss has been missing for more than a day. Why? Why is she still not back? Her gaze turned to the brightly lit main room. She couldn't help but finally walk over. The door opened a crack. From inside, a strong aroma of wine wafted out, accompanied by loud shouting and laughing. It had already passed midnight and reached early morning. However, in the main room, a group of slave servants were still joyfully gambling and drinking. Wet Nurse Chen carefully entered, panic written all over her face. Butler Li, Miss has not come back for a day and a night. I'm really worried about what has happened to her. Can you dispatch people to look for Miss? The room of boisterous people abruptly went quiet. I had been asking why my luck is so poor today. It turns out there's this bearer of ill luck come to touch my brows. Butler Li, who was sitting at the gambling table, fiercely kicked the stool beside him. An ominous glint flashed across his face. Your family Miss not coming back doesn't concern us. Maybe she has run away with a man. The people in the room burst into raucous laughter, with someone agreeing. I heard her mother seduced Dr. Nolan. She had such a thick face to become a concubine. As expected of such a mother to certainly have such a daughter. Her mother's like a asterisk, so her daughter would of course also act like her, right? You, don't you dare talk rubbish. Wet Nurse Chen's face turned very red, her turbid eyes protruding in anger. I forbid you from slandering Madam and Miss. Ha ha ha, she's nothing more than lowly trash. She didn't even have the talent to cultivate that she still dared to claim the title of a Miss. Don't make an exhibition of yourself for a disgrace. That's right, if it were not for Dr. Nolan being so charitable and having such a benevolent heart, how would he allow her to live here, even assigning so many people to serve her? Bah, I don't know where this illegitimate child came from. That's such useless trash. But the only choice left for her is to die. It's the wisest decision so as to not bring shame upon the Nolan family. As long as Ning Xi, that waste, really was dead, they would be able to return to the Nolan family. They wouldn't have to serve in this place that even bird sheet wouldn't fall, where there wasn't any profit to make, and even their cultivation bases wouldn't advance. Shut up you. Wet Nurse Chen's eyes shined scarlet, throwing herself towards several people. You, this group of evil slaves, obviously Master sent you here to serve Miss. But now you're even occupying Miss' main house, causing Miss and I to live in the firewood room, making us no better than a pair of dogs. Her entire body gave off the aura of an insane person. In a moment that Butler Li wasn't paying attention, he unexpectedly had a bunch of his hair pulled and he was grabbed by the neck. Startled by the sudden violence, he uttered a pained howl. Wet Nurse Chen was thinking that she would take them all down with her. She pulled his hair, scratching and grabbing whatever she could reach, shouting hysterically, "If Miss is dead, I'll die with all of you. Even if I have to crawl back to Nolan Manor, I will let Master know about your disgraceful behavior." I don't believe that Master Nolan doesn't really care about Miss life or death, even if Miss was really abandoned. This group of wicked slaves that turned your backs on your owner will not have a good end.